What's up there, guys? YouTube, internet world. Coming back at you again. This time from the car. Figured I'd shoot while I had some alone time in the vehicle. Normally I've got my whole family with me. But, yeah. And I figured, heck, why not talk about the time when I worked at Taco Bell. This is back when I was like 16 years old. So, long time ago. The reasons today why I won't eat Taco Bell is because I used to work for Taco Bell. And in my own time there, I had several horror stories that just burned my ability to ever enjoy the bell again. And I'll share a couple of those stories with you. I had a pretty fun experience working there, especially as a teenager. You know, you get your first job experience working in fast food, and it'll definitely teach you that you don't want to work fast food the rest of your life. The working environment is usually not very fun, and the conditions are usually poor. The pay is always low. Unless you live in one of those great states that's decided to make, you know, $15 a wage that's earnable for, you know, stuffing soft tacos full of a scoop of meat. Yeah, but anyway, I won't get into the political side. But one of the things that stands out in my mind from my short time at Taco Bell, I actually worked there for almost a year, if not about a year. The scariest thing I ever saw while working at Taco Bell was when the grilled stuffed burrito was just being launched. Like, so now it's kind of a staple of the Taco Bell menu is the grilled stuffed burrito. When I was working there, it was a new product. It had just come out. Well, Taco Bell had all these different products that they made and all these different ingredients and whatnot that went into them. And one of the ingredients that Taco Bell, before the grilled stuffed burrito, had but didn't use very much of was their Mexican rice. And so at the Taco Bell that I worked at, you know, you got maybe it was a 50 or 75 pound bag of rice, and it would easily last you, you know, the year. And like I said, when I worked at Taco Bell, before the grilled stuffed burrito, we had the same bag of rice all the months that I worked there. That's how little rice you went through. Well, one of the main ingredients in the grilled stuffed burrito was rice. So we started selling all these burritos, and we're going through rice like crazy, right? Well, lo and behold, while we're making up, you know, our grilled stuffed burritos, and it's really busy, and anytime a really popular product comes out of Taco Bell, you know, it kind of like pulls the crowds out. Like, you get busy, and everybody's ordering the same thing. They all want to try this brand new product. Well, one of the guys was getting ready to make some more rice, and he comes to me and he's like, dude, you got to come check this out. All right, so I go over, and at the bottom of the bag of rice are 2 dead mice. Just dead as can be in this bag of rice. And I'm sitting there, I'm staring at it, and I'm just like, I'm getting sick to my stomach. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, all this time we've been scooping the rice out and not paying attention. Like, you just reached in, you'd scoop out, you know, the cup of rice that you needed to make the pan of rice. You dump it in, and you wouldn't even look in the bag. It wasn't until they got to the bottom and we're almost out of this bag of rice, and that's all the rice that we had in the building. So we were gonna run out of rice if we threw this away. And we get to the bottom of this bag, and there's these 2 dead mice in there. Don't know how long, or if they were at the top and just kept filtering their way down or what, but obviously they'd been in there this whole time. And I remember looking out at the crowd full of, or the building full of people sitting out in the lobby eating these grilled stuffed burritos, and in like typical Hollywood, like slow motion, looking at the burrito as it's entering people's mouths. You know, I was there, oh yeah, so good. And just like that vile feeling of like, oh my gosh, like all these people are eating what was in that bag, and there's 2 dead mice. So the guy who came to me, you know, he's like, what are we gonna do? We don't have any more rice, and we need to make grilled stuffed burritos. And I just look at him, I'm like, I guess the boiling water will kill whatever it was. And, you know, at 16 years old, who am I to be in charge of this? But no managers did anything, so we just kept making grilled stuffed burritos with that rice. Just tried to not include any of the bits and pieces of the dead mice that were in there. But yeah, that's one thing that just absolutely turned me off. And obviously every fast food place is gonna have horror stories, and I know this. I mean, that's not an isolated thing to just Taco Bell, but it's one of those things that for me, like, I can never bring myself to enjoy Taco Bell ever again. And after that incident happened, I didn't eat at Taco Bell anymore. I could not bring myself to ever consume Taco Bell ever again. Like I said, not calling out Taco Bell as a company, saying they're bad business or anything like that, just simply saying that was my horror story experience at this Taco Bell 20-something years ago. And yeah, gosh, it wasn't quite 20 years. It's almost been 20 years. It's almost been 20 years since I worked at Taco Bell. That's just insane to me. But it is what it is. Anyway, you guys have any horror stories for fast food places that you worked at or are working at? Be careful. Don't post anything that can get you in trouble. I'm actually kind of worried about this because I'm like, what's the statute of limitations on hantavirus exposure and all this other stuff? Because I'm a little worried, you know. Yeah, we're gonna time out here. Time out. This is a completely hypothetical